All right, good evening, everybody. Jesse Montano out here at Canada Life Center. Avs Jets just wrapped up, and not a great night for the Colorado Avalanche. They dropped this one 6-2 against the Jets, and the Jets looked like the better team from start to finish. The first period of this one, I thought Ivan Prostov was sharp early. I thought he made a couple big saves that helped keep the Avs in the game early on. The Avs had a really hard time getting going. Jared Bednar described it as not being ready, that the Jets are ready, the Avs weren't. Thought Ivan Prostov was sharp early, but it was the Jets' first goal. I didn't love the play from Prostov. Looked like he kind of went into desperation mode a little bit too early, and that seemed like it kind of started things just sliding downhill for the Avs from there. It was 2-0 by the time the first period came to a close. Former Av Vlad Nemesnikov does pick one up to stretch that lead to 2. And again, it just seemed like the Avs weren't getting involved, weren't getting activated. Josh Manson tried a couple times to get things going a bit by getting involved physically, and it just never seemed like the Avs got engaged in the game. One of the notes I have written down here is the Avs don't have their skating legs, and that was from early on in the game. And again, you kept waiting to see them get dragged into this game. In a game that meant a lot. You know, this had first overall in the division implications in this game, and the Jets will sit in that spot tonight. Despite the two teams being tied in points, that's games played. I'm getting a little off track here. Let's go back to tonight. The Avs fall down 3-0 before finally getting going themselves. It was Jonathan Drouin on the power play who did help get the Avs going, and that was the first time all night it felt like the Avs were maybe starting to get things going, but then it was just bad play after bad play that kind of slowly undid them. I asked Jared Bednar after the game, I said, seemed like the Jets were maybe a step ahead, not only in their effort and kind of winning races to loose pucks, but there were several plays, especially coming right after that Drouin goal when the Avs were trying to get momentum going, that it seemed like the Jets almost knew what the Avs were going to do, where the pucks were going to go. They were in every lane. They were winning a lot of battles, and here's what he had to say about it.
Yeah, because they were ready to go. I mean, it's about speed, pace. I mean, if you look at their transition game, their breakout game, the puck was going into areas where they knew it was, and they were a step ahead of us, because so that's why it looked like that. And then on the other side of it, like, we weren't there. So, you know, we make a play and we need guys getting up ice into lanes to get the next pass, and their D were just sitting all over it before we could even get there. So not moving ahead of the play, not enough jump in our game, skating wasn't there, like I said. So, and then when we were there on time and it was 50-50 puck, they came out with it most of the time.
Good news is for the Avs, this is the first game of a back-to-back, so the Avs are heading home right now. They were rushing to get out of the building here tonight to get to the airport, get on a plane, and get back to Denver. They have the San Jose Sharks waiting for them. So the good news when you have this type of situation, normally back-to-backs aren't ideal, especially when you're having to travel like that. The team's already waiting for you back home, but this might be an instance where, the Avs never had it tonight. A really bad turnover from Caleb Jones. The goals just kind of kept seeming to get worse and worse, and the coverage got more and more lax. The Avs have an opportunity to shake this one off immediately tomorrow and bounce back with a good game, and then before going to Chicago on Tuesday. You never want to say easy games. There are no easy games in the NHL, but you have the Sharks and the Blackhawks. Those are two teams that the Avs should absolutely take care of business against. Obviously, that's not a guarantee, but those are a couple games that you get to shake this one off, go have a couple of good games against a couple teams that you should beat, and it feels like the Avs will get right back on track. Like I said, they do technically fall out of first overall in the Central Division, but they stayed tied in points with the Winnipeg Jets. Jets have one game in hand. That's why they will leapfrog the Avs tonight by the time everyone goes to bed. So the Avs have a chance to get right after a flat performance here in Winnipeg. You don't love the fact that it's against a division opponent that I don't want to say the Avs couldn't get up for. I don't ever like, putting that type of thing on professional athletes. These are proud guys. They work hard. They get engaged every single night, but they just seem flat. It seemed like they didn't have their skating legs. I go back a lot to what Josh Manson told us a couple years ago in the playoffs. He likened games like this to when if you're a runner, sometimes you're running a 4-minute mile, sometimes it's an 8-minute mile. It's never a 4-minute mile for me, but that was his kind of analogy, and I thought that was a good call out a couple years ago, and it's something that you can kind of apply every night. Tonight was an 8-minute mile kind of night for the Avs, where they just didn't have it, didn't get engaged. Last note here tonight from Winnipeg, Cale Makar was a scratch just before puck drop, not taking warm-ups. It's a lower body injury. Jared Bednar did confirm to me after the game that this is day-to-day. It's related to the same injury that he's kind of been dealing with. It's been nagging him all season. Couldn't go tonight. He said it's day-to-day. We'll see if he is back in the lineup tomorrow. But other than that, Avs dropped this one here in Winnipeg. I'm on to Chicago. JJ Jerez and my boy Blake, who's running the camera right now here in Winnipeg, will be at the Avs game tomorrow at Ball Arena, making sure that you guys have everything you need post-game from the locker room, from coach here or there in Denver. And then we will be in Chicago as well, making sure you guys have all your Avs coverage here with Gorilla Sports. But for Blake, who's running the camera, I'm Jesse Montano with Gorilla Sports. Avs dropped this one here in Winnipeg.